All right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. Guys, let's check it out.
Breaking news. Some military personnel stationed at bases in the Middle East have been told to leave. That confirmed to Fox News by a U.S. official. President Trump, as we know, is weighing his response to Iran's deadly crackdown on protesters, his own citizens, with military weaponry. A new bombshell report revealing the staggering scope of the violence. It says Iran has between 12,000 and 20,000 people since the beginning of the citizen revolt about 2 weeks ago. An official count from a U.S.-based human rights group puts the count closer to 2,600, but still staggering. That's a big gap. That's why you need that news from on the ground.
Yeah, but that's not happening because they shut the internet off.
I'm Harris Faulkner. You are in the Faulkner Focus. The Islamic regime of Iran has also cut off public internet access. They did that days ago. And it's trying to stop the world from seeing in now the gruesome human rights crimes. But it's also keeping people from crying for help to people around the world. A limited number of videos that we can even get access to now. But they show the scale of the mass demonstrations. Thousands of people taking to the streets for their freedom. Elon Musk's Starlink, always in play, it seems. This time, reportedly stepping in to help free internet access for protesters. Iranian authorities are reportedly hunting down those using that free service. And President Trump has weighed in with a powerful post. Take a look. Iranian patriots keep protesting. Take over your institutions. Save the names of the and abusers. They will pay a big price. I have canceled all meetings with Iranian officials until the senseless of protesters stops. Help is on its way. He also laid out a red line in an interview that aired last night.
When they start thousands of people, and now you're telling me about we'll see how that works out for them. It's not going to work out good. We will take very strong action. If they do such a thing, we will take very strong action.
They're doing it.
So all eyes now focused on this region, of course. We await President Trump's decision on next steps. When he says help is on its way, what is that? And what are the steps against Iran's mullahs? Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yinks on the story from Tel Aviv. Trey.
Harris, good morning. Human rights organizations say more than 25 people have been confirmed in Iran over the past 2 weeks amid a brutal government crackdown. We know that smaller demonstrations are still unfolding, the government trying to rein those in, and there are renewed calls from protesters for international support. Fox News spoke with a student demonstrator who just left Iran on a commercial flight. We've blurred his face and altered his voice to protect his identity.
And I would say that the Iranian peoples are deeply hoping for the President Trump's administration to intervene, whether it's through cybersecurity attacks or whether it's through a military operation.
No military operations.
People are waiting for the promised help of President Trump. I mean, that was a goal from the beginning of the protest, right?
That protester telling Fox News he was shot at. These stories of brutality are not unique. And today there are concerns that Iran will begin to some of the demonstrators who were arrested over the past 2 weeks. Overnight, President Trump warned of a very strong action against the Iranian regime if it take place. The entire region bracing for such action that could lead to a military escalation.
We know that any escalation of the sort that you described would have catastrophic results in the region and beyond, and therefore we want to avoid that as much as possible. The talks continue, our calls continue.
There are growing signs of possible military action in the region. Reports indicate that the Al Udeid base in Qatar has evacuated non-essential personnel. Harris.
All right, and the calls from the administration, of course, for certain military personnel around the Middle East to leave that area. We don't have any indications from what you're learning yet what that tells us.
No, we don't. I've reached out to a number of American officials, and it appears at this point this is a precaution to ensure that U.S. forces are not unnecessarily in harm's way. But remember, there are a number of bases across the region, and the Iranians have threatened to target those bases if a military conflict develops.
Guys, and like that's what matters, I think, the most here, guys. I mean, listen, with what's happening, the people that are surrounding this country, the countries that are surrounding this country need to be the ones that are doing things. And I mean this seriously here. I do not want to see an American life being lost over this this debacle here, guys. I don't think that that's a thing here. It shouldn't be. If you need something, we can help you in some other way, I'm sure. But under no circumstances do I want to see us kind of boots on the ground in this place here.
Trey, thank you very much.
Or in the air.
In focus now, Brett Velikovich, former Army Special Operations Intel analyst, drone expert, and Fox News contributor. Brett, I'm glad you're with me now. So that last question that I asked about speaks to the issue that we've had so many of our military personnel targeted just in the last few years. The number ticked up quite a bit. And so I want to first speak to that issue because they are our tip of the spear in that region.
Right. Well, Harris, I mean, let me just say the numbers coming out of Iran are staggering. They're morally heartbreaking. I mean, the scale at which protesters are dying, if even a fraction of the reported 12,000 is accurate, this is no longer a protest crackdown. No. This is a massacre. This is a mass slaughter carried out by a regime that has completely forfeited any claim to legitimacy. This is Tiananmen Square on steroids, and it's happening in real time.
That's a wild
our soldiers
reference.
In the region will be affected by this in the long run. I mean, right now, though, the Iranian people deserve our support more than ever. When a government has to jail, silence its own citizens just to stay in power, it's already lost its legitimacy. There's no going back at this point. But here's the key point. The Iranian people aren't chanting death to America. They're chanting against their own rulers. They're telling the world they want freedom, not clerics with guns, and that matters. And even when are willing to face bullets for freedom, the moral line is clear. We need to help them. The United States, the beacon of freedom in the world, we should never sit back and be neutral between a totalitarian regime and civilians who are being en masse for demanding basic rights. We can't be silent in these moments, pretend it's restraint. I simply not doing anything right now is like being complicit. So we need to ratchet up this pressure. We need to help them before it's too late, because history tells us moments like this don't last forever. And frankly, what the administration does here, the approach matters. We need to put pressure. It needs to be applied where it counts. Trump has real strength in this region. He's highly respected out there where past presidents weren't. And we need to send a warning that we are with these protesters and help them in any way that we can.
Okay, listen, bro, I think if we're going to say something, we need to make sure that we kind of always adhere to the statement that you're basically utilizing. Let's just say this here. What he just basically said is silence is being complicit. That absolutely sounds like something I've heard on TikTok, bro. All right, and something tells me that you don't mean it the way that you're basically saying it. But I kind of agree in an instance here with what he said, even though I don't think he fully understands what he just said here. Listen, if we can do something, we should do something. But it's under no circumstance risking an American life. That's it. I'm gonna keep saying this until this hopefully happens.
So what is the message that the mullahs are dealing with right now when the president of the United States, who's already taken out that mountain that had a big chunk of their nuclear program in it, and that was a stealth operation they didn't see coming from two different directions. So they know who they're dealing with. What is the message to them right now with the channel cut off with our president until they stop their own people?
Well, they need to be really nervous. I mean, the fact is, peace in that region, it doesn't simply come from pretending bad actors are going to all of a sudden behave. The mullahs should, be warned right now that something is going to happen. We need to go after them, give them consequences economically, militarily. Deterrence matters here. When the White House says all options are on the table, including military options, by the way, that's not warmongering, it's leverage. Right? We got to help the protesters, and that doesn't mean rushing into war. We need to give them breathing room. The Iranian people are telling us they want freedom, and so strength from our administration will prevent war. Weakness, frankly, invites it. The Iranian mullahs, they like to escalate when they see this weakness, and we're not going to just deter Iran from, press conferences. You got to remember, their nuclear program, frankly, when we went after them before, they didn't slow it down because of polite requests. It was slowed down because President Trump, this administration acted if red lines are crossed. It was stopped by force. That credibility protects American troops. It protects Israel, protects global energy markets. Weakness invites chaos, strength prevents it. And so we need to do something. And by acting forcibly here, the administration is not pushing us towards war. It's doing the opposite. It's restoring deterrence, and it's making conflict less likely.
Look, this has been a voice that has popped up a few times here recently, and I want to bring it into our conversation now. Former United.
Basically, we're posturing. That's it. Basically, is what he did. That's what it all boils down to. What he just said here. He's utilizing the image of the United States of America to basically, and the military strength behind the United States of America to potentially stop something. But the problem is that it's not stopping. In fact, it seems to at least be increasing in a way that is starting to bleed out, let's say, to the to the population of people, specifically outside of Iran, right? I mean, we're starting to now see exactly what's happening kind of in the midst of us kind of levying all types of, wild threats.
Nation's Ambassador Nikki Haley posting this. At least 12,000 Iranians fighting for freedom have been murdered by the regime, possibly thousands more. The silence from those who claim to care about human rights is truly deafening. Fox interviewed an Iranian-American protester this week. He is one of many calling out the left for their silence after massive rallies and full-throated support for Palestinians in Gaza. Watch this.
I used to be a Democrat. I stood by you guys because you promised us liberty, justice, diversity. This is not diversity. Your silence is complicit. Democrats, wake the damn up. This is not okay. Iranian people right now, they're in prison. They're in prison. They're in complete digital blackout. How can you be silent?
Yeah, you see how when he said that initially, I was just like, hold on, bro. I'm not sure that's how the other side uses that word, basically, the phrase. And the other guy basically just used it how the internet uses it. Let's just say this here. But either way,
you could see a tip that no one saw coming. And this is political. We know the president of the United States is going to do exactly what you said. He's going to do what he knows is best in this situation. And he's not going to listen to all of the for comfort, political comfort Democrats on the other side who can't see straight on an issue because of the people in in their camp, far left. But my question comes to what happens if the left loses the street on this one? I mean, all those people that the left pretended to like and to want to help, they didn't send any food to the Palestinians, and they're not trying to help the Iranians now.
Paris, we already saw what happens when American leaders bet on the regime instead of the Iranian people. All right. That's what the left did before. No more pallets of cash, no more photo ops. It just leads to more bloodshed. And this is a defining moment. The Iranian regime is choosing over reform. They're choosing bullets over dialogue. And so as the United States, we need to be crystal clear. We stand with the Iranian people, not their. And the administration, if we want leverage, frankly, I think we need a more aggressive approach. If we're going to go in and do something militarily, we should definitely focus on the revenue streams of this regime. We could focus on striking IRGC-controlled offshore export infrastructure, for instance. The regime survives off of this offshore oil cash flow. You disrupt that and everything. That's real deterrence. That's what helps the Iranian people. And that's what stops the mullahs and gets their money to dry up.
Okay, guys. Okay, I think we're good. Just be fully aware, though, if we then decide to do something to, let's say, overtake Iran, and we go after the oil, please be aware there's no coming back for us, right? All of the theories and thoughts and jabs, let's say, that all of these nations have thrown at us and people within these nations have thrown at us, that if there's oil, America's coming, right? You understand what I'm saying here? If we go into there and take their oil, oh no. Okay, just understand this here immediately. Leave Iran's oil alone immediately, because we just came from Venezuela. You understand this here? And for some reason, everyone's only talking about the oil, right? I don't see Maduro's name at all anymore. I just see videos about the oil, right? So now, if we go ahead and do the same exact thing, right, in Iran, we're done. Like, we're done. All we care about is oil. I'll believe it going forward. I'm telling you this here. But yeah, that would be something. By doing it, you'll definitely get the attention of the IRGC. Definitely. You will. You'll stop the cash flow. Everything will happen. You're right. Absolutely, in fact, here. But if we do that, nothing good happens. Like, I mean, there's no coming back. Everyone is going to hate us because everyone now will officially believe that that's all we are, right? Like, if you have oil, America is coming, right? So just understand that overall angle, okay? It's important to understand that specific angle. Imagine 2 places get absolutely obliterated within the span of a month. And these are 2 high oil producing places. I mean, I get it. You really want to stop China because that's what it feels. That's what it boils down to. If that makes any sense, guys. I mean, China gets oil got oil. Let's say specifically from Venezuela. Then that stopped, and now they get it from Iran. And if we go and take Iran for the sole purpose of their oil, now China has to find oil somewhere else, most likely from Russia, right? So there's a lot of issues here, guys. I mean, I think it all boils down to like an overall rivalry, and us common typical folk here watching the internet and watching the news specifically are seeing what they want to see specifically, what they want us to see specifically, and not the overall underlying issue that hey, how dare you pay attention to what's happening in China, that type of thing, guys. Who knows? I'm not a theorist, but I'm just trying to kind of put things together, I think. Guys, do you want to watch movies with me? I never actually thought to like promote it over here, guys. But if you guys do want to watch it, guys, we have hundreds of movies, and I mean hundreds of movies that we've reacted to. You guys can come watch them with me if you want to, along with many TV shows. Currently, we're working on the show Dexter, along with Vikings, and we have a lot of series that are already completed. But if you guys do want to watch it with me, the link is in the description. Everything's available at the 2nd tier. But of course, if that's not your thing, guys, don't worry. Right? Listen, like and subscribe.